motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg.
You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
I took that serious.
All of my life was a laugh and a joke and a drink and a smoke, and then I passed out
On the floor.
again and again and again and again and again.
Hey, how the hell are you? It's Tattooed Madman PsYcHo Mike. Thought I'd do a little storytelling here. I've been wrestling for almost 37 years, so a lot of people's asked me, how did you get started in the wrestling business? Well, let me go way back. Way back.
To back up into the ring in just a moment or two for more exciting fucking action.
All right, to continue the story, it started on Saturday nights at 6 p.m. On WUAB, Channel 43 was the first one. One little makeshift ring out on Day Drive on the Channel 43 studios back in the day on Parma. They had a little makeshift ring, and it started off with this.
And welcome to more International Championship Wrestling. This is Jack Reynolds at ringside. Joining me a little later on in our program will be Tex McKenzie. Coming up on today's exciting card, you're going to be seeing Rip Hawk, the profile guy himself. You'll also see the Love Brothers, who are billed as the world's most exciting tag team duel. The International Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Mil Mascaras, will be seeing action on today's program. The Puerto Rican Tag Team Champions, Carlos Colon and Miguel Perez, will be seeing action, along with Dick the Bulldog Brower. And in our main event, listen to this, a main event in any arena in the country, the Soul Patrol, Ernie Ladd and Thunderbolt Patterson, they're going to take on the combination of Eric the Red and Goliath. Tex McKenzie, boy, I'll tell you, we got it all together here on International Championship
I can't wait.
Wrestling.
Let's get on with it. The Soul Patrol. Believe me, there's vibes in the arena tonight, and let's get with it.
All right, we'll be back with more exciting action right after this.
Cleveland Barons NHL hockey station beginning Sunday evening, October 10th on WUAB-TV.
I'm stuck with used cars and a headache, too. I've really got a headache. We sold more new cars than any other dealer, and we have 3 acres of clean used cars taken in trade. Sales are down in the winter, but I must move them out. So bring me a bottle of aspirin for my headache, and I'll give you an extra $200 rebate on any used car priced over $9.95. So head for the hills, Willoughby Hills, that is, and come see me, Miller. That's me at C. Miller Chevrolet, 2810 Bishop Road.
With Cleveland's own, hosted by Cleveland's own Jack Reynolds.
Take you now to the interview. Don't forget, wrestling fans, the World Wrestling Federation returns to the Los Angeles Sports Arena Tuesday night, March 19th, right here in beautiful Los Angeles, California. What an all-star card. Hillbilly Jim will take on Moondog Spot. And in a Texas Tornado Tag Team match, you may recall, a couple of months ago, Andre the Giant and the Junkyard Dog faced the combination of John Studd and Ken Patera. With me right now is Andre the Giant. This is a man that does not forget, believe me.
You know, Jack, I want to get that match right back. But there was no way can the promoter put the whole thing together. It took 1 month to get that match, to get that rematch. But John Studd and Ken Patera, I maybe get DQ last time. You get DQ too. And I don't care what happened about that. This time, there's going to be a better way.
Right.
Texas Tornado, everything's go.
Right. Everybody in the ring.
4 guys in the ring. It's almost like a small battle royal. John Starr and Ken Patera, I got a dog, and believe me, this time, I got that chain, and I'm going to use that chain from the junkyard dog. I'm going to use it. I'm going to tie you guys around the post, and I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to get even. John Stott, you're going to see what it is to be a giant. You claim yourself you're a giant. Ken Patera, you're the strongest man you say in the world. But we couldn't see what kind of strongest man you are. And believe me, this time, no rules.
The promoter was Ron Martinez, and it ran from like 1967 to about 1975. It was called the NWF back in the day. And then on Channel 61, on WKBF, Channel 61. Remember when we had the UHF dial? You had to turn the damn dial. It was always the bigger numbers. We'll tell you more about Big Time Wrestling from Detroit.
Big Time Wrestling. Featuring the world's greatest wrestlers. With the Dean of Wrestling Commentators, Lord Athol Layton. Hi there, ladies and gentlemen.
It came from Detroit, Michigan. It ran under the banner of Big Time Wrestling. And it had some of my favorite characters of that era, such as The Sheik, Pampero Firpo, Bobo Brazil, Killer Brooks, Wild Bull Curry, Abdul the Butcher. But by far, Ed Farhat, the Sheik, the original Sheik, was absolutely my favorite. And then
This is Bob Finnegan coming to you direct from San Antonio, Texas, where I have traveled to cover a bout between the wild man from Syria, the Sheik, and former Grambling football great Charlie Cook. There was no ring announcement here. The Sheik jumping Charlie Cook before this bout had an opportunity to be introduced to you television wrestling fans. And this is the way that the wild man from Syria has been operating these past many months. The wild man tonight steps into the ring against a formidable opponent. Charlie Cook, who's had some great amateur wrestling background in college and in high school, who had a great football career not only in the college ranks with Grambling College, but also in the pro ranks with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Charlie Cook now in professional wrestling has put himself together a fantastic winning streak, and now Charlie Cook puts the Sheik outside the ring, the Sheik on the floor of this arena. And you'll notice tonight, walking into the picture there and pointing to Cook and talking to referee Leo Seitz is none other than Gary Hart, who was seconding the Sheik here in San Antonio, Texas tonight. A great capacity crowd here on hand in this arena, and we think you fans are going to see some bout. So we have traveled here to bring the Big Time Wrestling Television Network this special bout from San Antonio, Texas. The prayer rug now put into the ring. The Sheik comes through the ropes, and Charlie Cook, boy, he is red hot. He is upset with the Sheik. He walked into this ring. He's a very popular man here in San Antonio. The fans giving him some applause and happy to see him. A great round of applause for Charlie Cook. And then he was attacked by the Sheik before he had the opportunity to be introduced here in this bout. So there will be no introduction. And I got to be honest with you, if I were the ring announcer, I wouldn't want to get into this ring with a guy like the Sheik, especially in the mood that he's in here tonight in San Antonio. The Sheik now getting ready for his pre-match ritual, where he will pray to Allah, the prayer rug in place. Referee Leo Seitz trying to keep Charlie Cook away from the Sheik being very, very leery. And the Sheik is acting funny here in this bout. The Sheik, a man who is very clever at disguising his true intent. And he's here to win this bout tonight, but he's going to have a tough haul if he's going to put Charlie Cook down for a 3 count. Gary Hart standing ringside now. And the Sheik complaining about Cook interfering and breaking his concentration. Now the Sheik looks to Allah. Charlie Cook busy with the referee, and what is the Sheik doing? The Sheik reaches into one of his boots, and he's got something in his hand. The Sheik now gets up off his prayer rug, and he jumps Charlie Cook, and Gary Hart had a lot to do with it. Gary Hart was talking to the referee while the Sheik snuck up on Charlie Cook with that object, and he drives it into the throat of Cook. Cook goes flying through the ropes out onto the floor of this arena. And I'm glad I'm on this side of the ring and not on the far side of the ring, where the timekeeper now is close to assault by the Sheik. The Sheik grabs his bell, pushes the timekeeper out of the way, and drives Cook's head into the apron of this ring, and now into the timekeeper's table. Boy, I'm going to tell you, the Sheik is wild tonight. And listen to the fans here in San Antonio. Now, Sheik into the ring. He grabs Charlie Cook and takes him into the ring with him. Cook down on the mat, the Sheik on top of him, choking away. I don't know what he's got on Cook. He's got something to the throat of Charlie Cook. It's hard to tell from this vantage point. And the referee is trying to keep Gary Hart out of the match and trying to get the Sheik away from Charlie Cook so that the big man can get to his feet. But the Sheik is a wild man tonight, to say the least. Here's a man who set more attendance records around the country than any other wrestler alive. He's capable of doing anything. Will he use the mystical fire tonight? We'll have to wait and find out. Will he put himself in a trance? Many times, oftentimes, the Sheik puts himself in a trance, and I've seen guys hit him with everything they've got, and it doesn't faze him. It's just as though he's not really with us in there. It's very clear and evident what the Sheik took out of his shoe. It was an object with some tape wrapped around it. He has unraveled the tape now and has it wrapped around the neck of Charlie Cook. And referee Leo Seitz has had a tough time trying to catch the Sheik at whatever he's doing. And you know, before you can count a man off, you've got to catch him doing it. That's the rules of the National Wrestling Alliance. The wild man from Syria, the Sheik. Gary Hart now complaining to referee Leo Seitz that he is interfering in the bout. And Leo Seitz is telling Gary Hart to get back to his corner. In the meantime, the Sheik takes Charlie Cook to the mat. The wild man from Syria, who has the power of the reptile, he has a gigantic reptile he carries around with him. Master of the fire, hypnosis, has in his arsenal some of his favorite moves. Devastating. And it appears as though the Sheik has won the bout here because the referee has raised his hand in victory. It appears as though the Sheik has won the bout. He counted down an unfortunate Charlie Cook. The Sheik's going to win this one. Gary Hart's in the ring. Let me finish what I started to say a moment ago. The Sheik has that camel clutch, the mystical fire, and we've not seen any of that tonight. He did not use the camel clutch on Charlie Cook. Rather than that, he took him down, choked him down. He was counted out of this bout. Now, the Sheik in this vicious attack on Cook, and Cook has some friends stepping into the ring here. First of all, there's Scott Casey. Along with Scott Casey is Skip Young. And now Gary Hart looking very nervous, and the Sheik grabs Young from behind. Skip Young, he grabs him from behind, and he's got that tape around the neck of Skip Young. And here comes Scott Casey to help his buddy Skip Young. And they're double teaming the Sheik now. The Sheik is taking a pounding. I told you, look at the expression on this man's face. I told you about that hypnotic state, that hypnotic trance. And here's Scott Casey hitting him with everything he's got. And the Sheik doesn't even feel it. It doesn't even faze the Sheik. He doesn't register at all. And now he's got three men on him. Now the referee's in there. Leo Seitz is in there trying to pull the Sheik off of Skip Young. And Scott Casey continues to hammer away on the Sheik. This guy, it doesn't even faze him. Now the referee's hitting him. Three men here. Four men actually in the ring, and Gary Hart trying to stay out of the way. The Sheik told him, get out of my way. I don't need any help. Rather, he didn't say it. He motioned it to him because, you know, the Sheik doesn't do a whole lot of talking in that ring. Some Arabic, maybe. Now, the Sheik has Charlie Cook on the ropes. He's already been declared the winner, but he continues to devastate Cook. Scott Casey with a chair beckons the Sheik to the middle of the ring, and Gary Hart signaling to the referee to stop this, to send these guys to the dressing room. Gary Hart trying to get the Sheik out of the ring. The Sheik still with fire in his eye. Keeps his eye for sure on Scott Casey with that chair. Now he takes a look at Skip Young, too. And Scott Casey. The referee trying to stay in the middle of these tough and rough wrestlers. And now the Sheik goes back after Skip Young. Again with that tape wrapped around his neck, and I can't believe this. He's dragging him bodily over into the corner. Here comes Scott Casey, and again he hammers the Sheik. The Sheik runs away from...
1976. Wrestling kind of disappeared from Cleveland TV. And, well, it was a few years later, then all of a sudden I found Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Harley Race, 7 times world champion, clashes with a former champion himself, Wildfire Tommy Rich, with special referee Pistol Pez Watley. National Tag Team Championship, the Road Warriors champions against the American Dream, the Tower of Power, Dusty Rhodes, and his partner, National Heavyweight Champion Brett Wayne. The Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer clashes with the Incredible Man from Sudan, Abdullah the Butcher, plus the Great Kabuki against Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant. Jake the Snake Roberts goes after Ron Garvin's TV title, plus 2 other matches. That's tomorrow night, 8:30, the Omni.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so very much, and welcome to another hour of World Championship Wrestling. We've got lots and lots of things to talk about and to do today. First of all, let's take a look at this trophy. We've got a trophy, and at the top of that trophy, in an upcoming tag team tournament, there will be...
It came out of Detroit, Michigan. And, man, it was a hotbed of professional wrestling back in the day. And then you had, like I said, you have Georgia Championship Wrestling. It took a few years later, which I found Georgia Championship Wrestling was on the Power Station or Super Station, WTBS. And then the stars of that era got me hooked on wrestling again, if you would want to call it that. And then they had characters like Buzz Sawyer, Tommy Wildfire Rich, the Iron Sheik. There were so many, Paul Orndorff and Tito Santana, the Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, the Four Horsemen. Man, it just invigorated me. And from that day, that's what made me want to become a professional wrestler.
You better believe what I'm telling you. Eddie Jermaine Maniac the Ghoul. And we're all going to watch PsYcHo Mike beat the cheese whiz out of each and every opponent on the Masters of Mayhem Wrestling. Hey! Hello, hello.
Papa 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 hum ma ma papa hum ma ma papa hum ma 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 papa hum ma ma papa hum ma ma papa hum ma ma papa 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 hum ma ma papa hum ma ma papa hum ma 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 papa hum ma ma papa hum ma ma papa hum ma ma papa 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 hum ma ma papa hum ma ma.
Hey bro, pull it over there. I'm telling you the truth. You better be watching the Masters of Wrestling right here over there because it's PsYcHo.